Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Rhoda from Rhoda Eats on Instagram. And I know it's been a while since I've posted food content, but I am here, I'm back doing my thing, and I'm excited to show you what I have in store for you. But today, let's start it off with this white chicken chili. The day that I made this was rainy and cold, and I just wanted something to warm my heart and my soul and make me feel all warm, cuddly, and snuggly inside. So this was just amazing. I hope that you follow my food page on Instagram at Rhoda Eats, and don't forget to check the description below. I always put the ingredients and measurements. Even though this recipe isn't necessarily a measurements type of recipe, it's a go with your heart and soul type thing, but I got you with the basics, and you could always tweak and change things up as per your liking. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Okay, so let's start with the base, and we are going to cook our veggies down. And I'm just so thankful to whoever decided to chop up the onions and the peppers and stuff like that and package it up just for me. You can always cut the work in half, especially when you really want to cut the time down that you're in the kitchen. So definitely look into this if you're into shortcuts like I am. Okay, so I had some onion, and then I had like a tomato trinity blend with tomatoes, peppers, and more onion. And of course I have my minced garlic, okay? And I'm going to let those cook down with some canned diced green chilies. And I always use mild, and then if I really need some heat, then I'll just add hot sauce to my personal bowl later. But this is how we get it started, okay? And since this is the base, I will be adding my seasonings. I try my best to show exactly what I'm using in this video, just so that if you're looking for that flavor that I have, you can use exactly what I used. But always please feel free to use your favorite seasonings and your favorite peppers and anything like that that you want to use. So this is how I'm starting my base. Okay, so I'm just going to let that cook a little bit before I add my chicken stock. Now, I do add a whole box of chicken stock, and I do save the box, and I'll fill it up with water to add some water just to kind of level it down a bit. So that's always an option, but you don't have to do that. You don't even have to use chicken stock. This base that we're making is enough. But you guys, if you've seen any of my other videos, I love to make sure I pack in the flavor and all the good stuff, okay? So after I let this cook a little bit, I do add a box of chicken stock and a box of water, because I use the box to fill it up and pour water in there. Now, I know there's a debate going around about cleaning your chicken and not cleaning it and this and that. I always clean my chicken. That's how I grew up, okay? My parents, my grandparents, everybody that I know from the Caribbean and Caribbean people that live in the United States, we clean our chicken, okay? I use vinegar, white vinegar, and if I don't have white vinegar, I'll use apple cider vinegar or lemon or lime and salt, whatever. But I clean all those impurities away from the chicken, cut off any excess fat and skin and stuff like that if there's any on there. Now, for chicken, I like to use boneless, skinless chicken thighs, because it really does make a difference with flavor and like the texture of the meat and everything. I'm just not the biggest fan of breasts, like chicken breasts. So where I can substitute, I always use boneless, skinless chicken thighs, okay? So I cleaned the chicken and I did put a little bit of the adobo and the chicken seasoning on there that I used earlier that you guys saw. I did put a little bit on that and let it sit for a few minutes before I put it in the pot because layers, layers of flavor. So I do let the liquid come to a boil before I add the chicken just to get things going. And then I just add it in and I let it cook completely, okay? Now, I do want to note early on in this video, you can choose not to add the cream cheese that you will see me add later on in this video. You can use heavy cream, you can use whatever you want, half and half, and again, or you could just do it without it. I love cream cheese. If I could add it to everything, I would. If I could sleep on it and use it as a pillow, I would. So I added the cream cheese just for that extra creaminess and hearty deliciousness. It really adds something special, but please feel free to do without it. When the chicken is cooked through, remove it from the pot and shred it however you can. If you have to, cover your bowl and set it in the refrigerator or the freezer for a couple minutes. Or if you can handle it hot, just be very, very careful. It's super hot. I got impatient with using the two forks and I put some gloves on and tried to shred it with my hand. I just figured I'd be fast enough, but hey, I failed, okay? So I just did what I could with the two forks and I put it back into my pan. So you'll notice the oil from previously sauteing the vegetables floating on the top. You can skim that off like at this point or later, whenever you feel like it. If it bothers you, you can skim it off. I skimmed mine a little bit, but I didn't really make too much of a big deal about it because it's just not a big deal to me. So, but definitely feel free to skim it off, okay? So I shredded chicken, I put it back into the pot, and this is where I'm going to add my cream cheese and my beans. Now you can feel free to use whatever beans you want. You can use black beans, you can even use lentils or pigeon peas. I use cannellini beans. Is that how you say it? I'll put it in the description. But those are the beans I use. You could use butter beans, lima. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But I really like cannellini for this particular dish, so that's what I use. But the thing about these recipes are that they're so simple and easy that you could just do anything and still get an amazing result. So I just put that little block of cream cheese in there. It doesn't take a lot, and eventually I use my whisk to kind of break it down because it was still pretty cold. So you know what happens when you try to use cold cream cheese. Like if you don't let it sit out, it's really, really tough to get it smoothed out and like completely melted and everything. But I got with the program and it was an amazing result. So I did that and covered it, and I just let it simmer on low just for a few minutes to bring everything together, and then I plated it up. So let me tell you guys how I forgot to tell you that I added some frozen corn to this. That's the yellow stuff you see floating on the top right there. They only had the sweet white corn in the frozen section, so I just got that. So I forgot to tell you guys, but hey, I added corn and it would have been in the description anyway, so you would have seen it. And this is just me plating it up. When you plate it up, the oil from sauteing the vegetables, I know you saw some, even though I skimmed some off, I know you saw it at the top right there. It doesn't really make a difference or impact anything. And I don't see it after it cools down and stuff like that. So that's why I was telling you, you don't really have to worry about it too much. But yeah, so you can eat this as is, or you could be like me and be extra with the toppings. Okay, so I added that smashed avocado that I saw at the store because I was gonna get fresh, and again, shortcuts. Okay, so I got that. I had some sour cream, some chopped up cilantro, a squeeze of lime juice, and of course cheese. All right, and I added some tortilla chips just for an extra crunch, and it's really delicious. When you get everything up in one bite, it's super duper delicious. Again, you could feel free to omit anything here, or you could change the toppings up. You could use salsa or anything that you feel like using. You could add bacon bits to it. The possibilities are really endless, and it's really up to your imagination, but this is how I chose to do it. And let me tell you, mwah, chef's kiss. It was so good. And if you do decide to try this recipe, I really hope that you follow me on Instagram at Rhoda Eats and tag me in your creations or send it to my DM or whatever you choose to do. I would really love to see what you do and how you do it, and celebrate the goodness with you. I love to do this kind of stuff and share recipes and stories with you guys. So I hope that you subscribe and like my video and share this video and others that you see on my channel with the people that you love and care about, and just spread that extra joy. A lot of times we come together over food and in the kitchen and just laughing and swapping out recipes and different things like that. So I hope that I was able to really bless you with this recipe. Again, follow me on Instagram at Rhoda Eats, and please subscribe to my channel and share this video with anyone that you think would love this, or anyone that's looking to try something new. It's super delicious, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.